Hello and welcome back to another staycation video. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about my number one tip, if you will, on creating vlogs or filming yourself in public. And it's not what you think it is. But before we get into that, we want to talk about where we are. Today, we decided to venture out into a small little city just outside of Berlin. It's about 40 minutes outside of Berlin, and it's actually where we got married, and it is called Potsdam. Now, Potsdam is absolutely beautiful. You're going to see that as we tour you around the city today. But to help you understand why it's so beautiful, I wanted to go into a little bit of a backstory. And you, Katharina, can jump in if I'm making any mistakes here. Yeah. Just like Canada and the US, Germany is divided into states. And in Canada, I know we call them provinces, but you know, same. And the state that we're technically living within right now, sort of, and I'll explain that a little bit more, is called Brandenburg. And Potsdam is actually the capital city of Brandenburg. Yeah. And you might be wondering, well, isn't Berlin the capital? Well, yes, Berlin is the capital of Germany, and Berlin is situated inside of Brandenburg, but Berlin is its own state. Yes. And there's three of them within Germany. So Berlin is a city and a state. Hamburg is a city and a state, and Bremen is a city and a state. This city is filled with palaces and museums, and it used to be the residence of the Prussian kings and the German Kaiser. We are heading off now to find some food, and then I'm going to talk about how I've become so much more comfortable with filming myself in public. Since Potsdam is such a beautiful city, naturally it gets really busy. Like, really busy. And that is actually leading us into the tip that I was talking about earlier for vlogging in public, and the one that you might not be expecting. It is actually easier, in my opinion, to film when there's a lot going on. When I say vlogging with large crowds of people is easier, best way I can help you understand that is by a Scott F. Fitzgerald quote. And the quote is, even in a crowded room, you can feel like the loneliest person in the world. And what that means is right now we are in a place that's actually insanely quiet and no one around except a few people, like that gentleman back there and this group of people coming up towards me here. But the thing is, they can hear everything I'm saying, and that's what's making it awkward. Whereas when you are around a super busy area, nobody cares. Everyone is too busy admiring where they are or doing their own thing to even listen to what you're saying, and you're just 1 second in their busy life. But right now, I'm feeling slightly awkward because these people approaching me are probably wondering, what is this guy doing? Trying to listen to what I'm saying. When we're in an area that's much busier, it actually just feels more natural for me to be filming my video. Right now, we are actually at one of our first stops in the city, and that is the Brandenburg Gate. Now, it's not quite the same as the one in Berlin. It's probably a third of the size. Yeah. But since Berlin is located in Brandenburg, and this is the capital Brandenburg, they also have a gate. It's quite beautiful, I'd say, and worth a stop for sure. But we are heading to what I would think is the highlight of this city, and very special for us because we had some photos done there. Before I go further into my point, I just wanted to talk about where we are. We are at Sanssouci Palace, and as I mentioned, this is basically the highlight of this city, pretty much. This is where Frederick the Great lived, or his vacation home, or something like that. But as you can tell, he just owned a lot of stuff, because we also went to Charlottenburg Palace, which he also lived in. But this is just like an amazing, stunning place, as you could see from the B-roll. It's just, this area that we're in right now is called the Orangerie, which is just like a tropical paradise. Like, what is this? Why is this even here? Do you know, Kat?
No, I don't.
Like, do they grow oranges here? Or,
Probably.
yeah, like, that's why it's called Orangerie, right?
Yeah.
But it is just bananas.
Yeah.
Like, guys, check this out. This place is just so epic. It's actually hard to put into words how beautiful this place is. We're actually right now just waiting for the sun to go down a bit so we can grab a couple snaps of the main part of the palace. But again, it's so quiet and serene in this place. I'm feeling like I'm comfortable filming here.
Yeah.
But I've done it enough that I'm used to it and I don't really care. But I promise you, if you start vlogging and you want to feel less awkward, you do it in a place that's a little bit busier. And yes, they may look at you at first and being like, why are they holding the camera? But everybody knows what vlogging is by now. But the thing is, when there's less people around, you're the star attraction. But if it's just busy everywhere, you're just a nobody. Now that Kat and I have had a little more time to spend in the city, I am appreciating it immensely. Like, I am going out on a limb here and saying it's probably one of the most beautiful cities in all of Germany, for sure, I would say. And Kat was saying how in Bavaria, there's a few places that are absolutely incredible as well.
Yeah.
But what's special about this, and you had said it earlier, there are parts of it that look like, you know, beautiful Germany. And then some parts look like the Netherlands. And then like southern Paris. Every corner that you look at and every building is just so beautiful, and the city is super clean. So definitely when you're visiting this part of Germany, you have to come to the city. It's one of the stops that you have to put on your itinerary. And when people come and visit us in Berlin, we're definitely bringing them here. So right now we are in the Dutch Quarter, and Kathy was saying this feels exactly like the Netherlands.
Yeah, like
right?
a small city in the Netherlands.
Now, we spent way too much time at Sanssouci, and it is now much later than we thought. At the end of the day, regardless, it's always just a little bit uncomfortable to film yourself in public. And it does take practice, and practice means progression, not perfection. But you will get better, and it will get easier. But I'm telling you right now, if you are feeling like you don't want people staring at you, go to somewhere that's busy and start filming, and notice how many people don't look at you and don't care about what you're doing, versus going to a place where it's not as busy and everyone's looking at me right now and wondering what I'm doing. Right, Kat?
Yeah.
Do you agree? We find that sometimes when we're walking through Berlin, no one cares about what we're doing at all, and we can get our shots and get everything done. But here, yeah, sometimes right now people are watching and I'm just like, whoa, trying to wrap this up quick. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed our little staycation tour of Potsdam. This city is absolutely epic, and there's so much more we want to show you, so we'll definitely be back. I hope the tip that is a little bit more unorthodox of filming in super busy areas rather than a quiet area helps you, because when you're all alone, you get into your own head and you get your own thoughts. But when you're out with everyone and feeling the energy, you get into a really beautiful flow and you're having fun, and that comes across on camera. So if you're starting to vlog, go out, have fun, be around a lot of people, enjoy yourself. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I would love to have a conversation. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, live passionately and stay inspired. Bye.